Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chatting It Up. So nice to have you on. And you are the creators of Taara Projects. So I'm going to start with Shanti, and she can tell us a little about herself and how she's involved.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shanti. I'm the founder and CEO of Taara Projects, and I'm currently studying at Johns Hopkins. I'm a sophomore studying political science and economics. And I started Taara Projects in my senior year of high school in 2018. But I think Taara Project's story truly began when I came to Hopkins as a freshman in 2019. I was able to grow a team of amazing all women, seven of us total. And together we're trying to figure out how we can economically empower artisans at risk for poverty while having a completely sustainable and ethical supply chain throughout the creation of our products. And we're trying to do this through Taara Projects right now.
Wow, that sounds very impressive. How about you, Kirti? How are you involved in? How's it going for you?
Yeah, so I'm the director of outreach and communications with Taara right now. I actually joined Taara Projects in the fall of 2020. So a little bit after Shanti had begun Taara Projects, I heard about it and I thought it was a very important organization, mostly because personally, like my grandpa was someone who came from poverty and started his own textile company and found his way in life in India through that. And so I saw Shanti trying to do basically the same thing for people who didn't have access to the same resources he did, try to give them those resources. So, through my time in Taara, I've learned a lot and I've seen more of the world that my grandparents grew up in. And I'm really excited for where Taara will take people in the future.
Excellent. All right, we're going to wait for Castalia to come back.
I'm here. I'm sorry. I just had to
excellent.
turn my camera off.
No worries. Lovely to have you. Do you want to tell us a little about you?
Absolutely. My name is Castalia Vidari. I'm a second-year student at Hopkins, double majoring in international studies and sociology. I'm currently in the global social change and development track. I was born and raised in the border town of Laredo, Texas, by my grandparents, and my grandma actually found her financial stability through the fashion industry. And so when I was presented with this project and Shanti was starting it back up at Hopkins through a mutual friend, it just seemed like a perfect fit for me. Taara Projects basically embodies the cause that drives me, socio-economic mobility by investing in individuals. And it's so holistic, like every part of Taara Projects in addressing the exploitative and unsustainable practice in the fashion industry. That's another cause I'm extremely passionate about, and I'm so grateful to be a part of Taara Projects. I'm currently a web designer, and down to its mission, our wonderful team of 7 women, and all the people that we've connected with, I'm just really happy to be a part of this project.
Awesome. And if any time, if possible, if you could turn your camera on, that would be awesome because we'd love to see you. But yes, take your time. Oh, there you are. Are you in the car? That is so funny. Okay. Okay. So what inspired each of you to get on board? What was your one thing that really stayed with you that wanted to make you do this? Shanti, go ahead, start.
I think the thing that originally inspired me was spending the summers at an NGO my grandparents founded, I think 22 years ago called Sahasra Deepika. It's in Bangalore, India. It provides an education and a home and love and care to orphan and destitute girls in and around Bangalore. And spending time with them throughout my summers for over 18, 19 years. My mom took me to India every year to visit family since I was a baby. So I always spent time at Sahasra Deepika. Understand, basically the girls there have become like sisters to me. And that's something that's irreplaceable, the relationships there. And it's just so, it their stories and how we're so similar in so many different ways. We love running races, we love art, we love dance. They're incredibly smart, they're incredibly capable. The only thing differentiating us is like a decision that was out of any of our controls, and that's the circumstances we're born into. So for me, that's what truly has been motivating me to try and figure out what the best ways are for alleviating poverty, individual poverty, so that people have access to the opportunities that they can use their skill set, their talents that they already have, to then elevate themselves. And that's kind of what inspired Taara Projects. Now, fashion, that was something, it's a much less, I don't know, it's a much less meaningful story. Fashion is just something that I've come to appreciate much more of just for myself. I think fashion is a great way to express confidence. I've come to appreciate it as an art form as well. So I think merging an industry that has such influence on people's everyday lives and also has immense impact, both positive and negative, unfortunately, on people's lives and the planet. Trying to figure out how you can merge two social issues together through fashion is something that, I don't know, that's kind of what started me with Taara Projects.
Right. And fashion is so pretty.
Very true. Fashion is beautiful. Yeah.
How about you, Castalia? What's your take on it?
I was so impressed from the start by Shanti's story, like how she presented it herself, and her experience in India to me, that I was completely unfamiliar with. And from there, just the entire mission of the brand, it's so holistic. We, as a team, pay attention to almost every single detail, making sure as much of it is sustainable, ethical, and just basically what I want a good business to be, like, as a consumer. And it means a lot to be a part of the team that takes note in every single part of the production process. And I don't know, it's just I love being a part of something that we're enacting some sort of change somewhere in the world, however small it may be. I feel like I'm a part of something, and why would I leave?
Awesome. And how about you, Kirti? What's your inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, beyond just like my background that I talked about earlier, I mean, definitely hearing Shanti's passion for the mission and hearing that she knew exactly where she wanted to take Taara and what Taara would be and can be. I think that's what inspired me to stay and to join in the first place. And I think that over the time that I've been with Taara, I've seen that growth and I've seen that progress. And it makes me believe that we really can make the change that we want to.
Awesome. Okay, so now tell me some of the really cool positive stories that you might have gathered through your process so far. Anyone, jump in. See who goes first.
Do you mean in
Right,
terms
so,
of, go ahead.
Go ahead, Kirti.
No, do you mean in terms of like the women that we employ, or like from just like our team working together?
Yeah, anything. And I would love to hear about the women you employ. So
Okay.
both.
I honestly can talk about our team better than I can talk about like the women we employ, just because like it's also the middle of a pandemic. We can't go and see these women for ourselves, or even the men that we employ for ourselves, which has been like a little bit of like a bummer for all of us, I think, because we do draw inspiration from the people that we are helping, making sure we can like physically see the impact that we're making. But we do communicate with Zilk, our partner over in Bangalore, who actually is physically there and employing the people that, like the artisans that create our clothes. And hearing the stories from them has been incredible because they're great at communicating. But on our side, with the team, again, we're in a pandemic, so we haven't really met everyone in person. I haven't met half our team face to face yet. And still, we've been able to make so much progress. I think the first time I remember feeling like we've made an impact already, even before our first launch, was when Aditi Meyer, I don't know if you are familiar with who she is, she basically reposted a post of ours. And we were like, wow, someone is recognizing our brand, someone's recognizing the work that we do. And I remember as soon as we saw that notification, we all just kind of lost our minds for a second. And we thought, like, had to take a step back and think like, wow, we're really doing this. Like, this isn't just some club that we're doing through college, right? This is an actual business, and we're actually making a difference. So I think that was the first positive success moment for me.
Nice. Love it. How about you, Castalia? Give me a story.
A story. Shanti has handled most of the communications with Silk, with our partner, our manufacturer, and the person who we're most in contact with is Zaina. And Zaina is so inspiring. I read the audio to text version of the interview that Shanti did with her, and basically I was like, we need a clearer picture of who we're employing. Like, I would like to know. I'm sure that our customers would like to know. And that whole, like, the entire interview, I was just taken aback every time, like every answer that she had. One really inspiring thing was, I think, in every aspect of this, is kind of a pandemic project, really, including for Zilk. And part of what great things that they've done over the pandemic is that they've managed, despite the pandemic, to keep a lot of their artisans employed. A lot of their artisans are migrant workers who otherwise would have been completely unemployed because they were from northern India, a very impoverished part of in rural and more rural, less job opportunity. And Zaina was determined. One time she even got buses for them to like make sure she had trips home. They had trips home, and with masks on, with spaced out, she tried to accommodate as many people as she could to maintain a lifestyle that maintains some sort of financial security. And that was extremely inspiring to me, especially in the middle of hearing horror stories about the fast fashion industry letting go of their workers, having them unpaid, etc. Knowing that the people who made our pants had financial security, had Zaina and the rest of the team motivating them to continue working. And just financial security means so much to anyone, especially these people. And I'm so glad that Taara Projects had even a sliver of impact in keeping their job security.
Right. Thank you. And Zaina is your partner in India, right? And then Silk is her company. Is that right?
Yes,
correct.
Right. Oh. And then she employs artisans and people to create your designs. Is that
correct? Yeah.
Okay, she's back. And
sorry, I don't know what happened.
No worries. That happens. All right. So tell us about what is a positive moment for you through this process? And how long have you been in operation? I forgot to ask you that.
Yeah, so technically, to answer the second part first, we registered as a for-profit LLC in 2018. So when I was in high school, and we were in operation then too. Whenever I went to India, I had this tailor named Mr. Ashwath, who basically lived in a village kind of right just outside of my grandma's apartment in Bangalore, and we wanted to give him work for over a living wage, so that he could support him and his daughter and his wife who were operating the tailoring shop. So I ordered a pair of pants for myself. My mom was like, bring some back for your friends. So then we brought back 50 for my friends. And then I sold them to just my classmates and family friends in high school, completely word of mouth marketing. So it's just like a very much of a passion project at that point, much more informal, but we were still able to, have some impact out of it. All of the proceeds were given to organizations I had worked with in India, in Orlando, and in Tanzania, actually. I think the journey for Taara restarted again, like I said before, at Hopkins in 2019, when I was able to take Taara on, not just by myself, but with 6 other amazing people, amazing students. And that's how Taara has grown. And I think that's probably been my favorite part, is having a team of people, students just like me, who believe in it just as much as I do. It's their baby just as much as it's mine. And they've truly turned it into something like so beautiful and so much more than I would have ever imagined. In high school, I wouldn't have seen this happening at all. Like, I didn't even think Taara would become a thing again at Hopkins, but it's because of the team that it is anything today. So I think just watching our team dynamic evolve all over the pandemic, like all virtually. I haven't even met some of my team members in person. It's all through Zoom, and so is our supply chain manager. It's all through WhatsApp with our manufacturer in Chennai. So operating throughout the pandemic in a completely virtual format, And seeing all the progress we've made in the past like 8 months has just been something that it boggles my own mind, and it just makes me so happy just to think about.
Right. And it's you're not just students, you're womenpreneurs.
That's true.
Think of a cooler phrase for how to phrase that. But it's awesome. And you have 7 of you total on the team, right? Do you all know each other, all 7 of you on this side of management?
We're actually best friends, the 3 of us.
So how did you all meet? I mean, and how do you know who to recruit for this project? How do you do your vetting process?
So, so how I met Castalia was through Kirti. I met Kirti we're both on the same dance team at Hopkins, at JHU's in the Bollywood dance team. So I met Kirti on that dance team early on in freshman year, and then she introduced me to Castalia. But as for the rest of the team, everyone was onboarded through this organization on campus called Enactus. And Enactus is an international organization with a chapter at JHU. And basically they try to support students who either want to lead and take on or join a social venture. So Taara started off at Hopkins as under Enactus, and they were immensely helpful in giving us the team and recruiting the team that we have today. I told Enactus like the qualities that I looked for, like the roles that I needed, and they kind of went through the vetting and the interviewing process for each of the members. And then that's how we onboarded.
We discriminate based on gender.
Not intentionally, but I mean,
application for okay, all right.
I mean, yeah, no, but I'm so happy with how it turned out. All women, yes.
Yeah, nice. That sounds awesome. And so you have a product launch coming up, right? So and it's only pants, is that right? All pants.
All pants, and in the very last minute, and this is something that we have yet to disclose to the people following us on Instagram, okay. But I guess we also have reusable face masks that are going to be coming out as well. And this was a very last minute addition, basically just to fully commit to our cycle of zero waste. Right. Zaina, who's the designer at Zilk, our partner in Chennai, said, we have leftover fabric from the pants. What do you want to do with it? And she said, we can either get rid of it or we can turn it into something else. And we said, you know what, let's make reusable face masks out of it. It's very timely too. And they're very cute, and they're the same exact color as the pants, so you can get matching masks.
They're matching. They're like matching the pants. Oh, that is fun. Okay. All right. And it's so exciting that we get to hear about that first on the show. So now we're super excited.
Yes, you heard it here first.
Yeah, that's right. And when is this coming out? When do you plan to have your first shipment?
The launch day is Earth Day, April 22nd on Thursday, and just a few days ago we received the shipment of pants, so they're sitting in our house, all just sitting there beautifully, looking really pretty, and very, very excited to ship them out to our first customers on Thursday.
And then how are you gonna do you have pre-orders, or do you take photos of them and post them online, or how do you plan to get the word out on what you have and then how to sell them?
Yeah, so we actually have a website that Castalia actually made. It's a gorgeous website, taaraprojects.com. We're selling the pants through the website. So on launch day, we're going to release our product page where we'll have the pants and the masks available to purchase. We're not taking pre-orders right now because we want to make sure everyone has an opportunity, because stock is very limited. We use a small batch production process. So only the pants that we've created already are going to be sold in this first launch. So there's limited numbers of each color and size. So we want to make sure everyone has equal opportunity to access.
And is it going to be a large, medium, small? So you have different sizes. And then are you all going to model? Do you double as your modeling crew?
Shanti is a phenomenal model.
No. No.
Because we want zero waste, so.
Yeah, Kate and I are decent photographers, and Shanti is as well. So this is actually one of my favorite parts about Taara Project as well. We've recruited some of our best friends who are in can model the various sizes. We look good in the various colors, and they've just come to our house, and we've done an impromptu photo shoot trying to make them look good.
Nice.
And they're getting the word out as well. So yeah.
And that sounds so fun.
It was
So
a lot
it's kind
of
of nice
fun.
to have a business and enjoy it and giggle. Right?
Exactly.
And
That's
have matching
true.
face masks.
Very true.
Right. And so
Yeah.
what is the mission? So I'm hearing Earth Day, zero waste, recycled materials. What's what's the theme here of
Yeah.
the pants and Taara?
So Tara's mission is to economically empower artisans who are at risk for poverty, all while reducing waste, water, and toxic byproducts throughout the process. And we operate under 3 pillars of sustainability, ethicality, and transparency. The third one is a crucial differentiating factor between Tara and a lot of other brands out there, where even if you go to look, you Google it, you look it up, you can't find where your sweatshirt came from. You can't find where your pair of pants made from, who made them, how are they made. So at Tara, we try to be as transparent as we can in where the cost of the purchase is going, so that our customers in turn feel more confident to purchase from us and that they feel good about what they're wearing. They know that it was made by someone who is very meaningfully and deeply being impacted by the work opportunity that they're being given by making the pants. And they're also wearing something that had negative environmental impact on the planet. So that's what we stand for.
And the materials themselves, there's a story behind the actual fabrics that you use.
Yeah, right. It's all upcycled dead stock fabric.
So
it means that this is fabric that went unused or unsold from larger companies, and it would have ended up being incinerated or in the landfill. So by repurposing this fabric, we are truly, embracing a zero waste philosophy, because we're not even creating new fabric. We're just taking what's already been created, but just would have been tossed out, and we're using it in our pants. So it's an amazing fabric. It's super lightweight, very breathable, very colorful, and it also means that we don't have to use water to dye our pants, because they've already been pre-dyed. So zero waste, zero water, enabled through using upcycled dead stock.
Right, nice. And who does the design work?
So the pants are based off of a design I created on the airplane in 2018. So it's based off of that design, but it's being executed by Zilk, ZY-LK, in Chennai, led by their designer there, Zaina Niaz. She's an absolutely amazing role model for me. She's their lead designer there, and it seems like she does so much other stuff there as well. And she's leading the team of 8 artisans, I believe, 2 of whom are hearing and speech impaired women, the rest of whom are migrant workers, in creating our pants. So that's who's making them.
Awesome. And so the proceeds from your sales, I'm assuming a portion of it goes back to those artisans as well.
Right. The cost of the pants goes towards supporting a living wage for the artisans, so that they're able to, live and meet their basic needs of education, food, water, shelter, and more. And then all of the proceeds, all of our profit will go back into our business model, which is also our social model, because by allowing our business to continue on, it also allows us to continue uplifting, artisans and sticking to our mission. So, yeah.
Wow, excellent. Okay, so now's a really trick question for you four. All right, or you 3. So embarrassing moments.
I can talk about last week. I don't think I even told my team this yet. So
first.
I went to a forum hosted by the Pratt Fashion Institute, and there were a lot of different ethical fashion, what do you call them? I guess activists or influencers there who were speaking. And they gave me an opportunity to speak about Taara for a few minutes while I was asking them some questions. And my mic was muted the entire time I was talking, and nobody decided to tell me that. So I'm just talking and talking. And finally, one of them says, "Sweetheart, we can't hear you." And it's like 5 minutes in. And this was one of the people I respect a lot in the ethical fashion industry. And the fact that my first impression with her was looking like a doofus, I guess, that was a little embarrassing.
It's really the tech person's fault for like having a mic there with an on switch. I mean, who does that?
It was over Zoom, so it was
my
really just my fault.
Zoom has some issues. How about you, Castalia or Shanti? Who wants to jump in next?
I've got one.
Okay, she's
So-
unmuted. She's ready to go.
I'm unmuted and I'm ready to go. And had I not been, one of y'all would have told me, I'm sure. So we announced our website launch about a month ago on Instagram, and our head of marketing took a screen recording of the mobile version, and the picture that pops up when you first visit our website, you can go check it out to understand, is a picture of Shanti. But when we were first scrolling down on the web version, it distorted, and it was only her, like one of her legs or like her foot or something. And it was so embarrassing because she was going to post that and she didn't tell me that that's what it was. So yeah, I had to just call her real quick, like, please don't post this. I need to go back and fix it. But at that point, about 30 people had already seen the website, probably on their cell phones, and they had seen a wonky picture of Shanti's foot.
Oh, you know,
So,
it's
okay.
modern art.
That's true. Okay, I'm a very embarrassing person, so I can't believe that I can't think of anything better. But this is the most recent thing. It's, I guess, some behind the scenes too in our social media. But Michelle too, who works on our Instagram, we've been revealing our colors to our following this past week, and like for the past like 2 days, our text conversation has been exclusively emojis. They're just like emojis that match the color of the fabric, because we're trying to figure out, like, when we say like, oh, hey, meet indigo, a cool blue with an undertone of gray, insert 3 emojis here. We're trying to figure out what those emojis are. So Michelle and I have been communicating exclusively through emojis for the past 2 days, trying to figure out what emojis to use. It's not even embarrassing, but it's just something that I never thought I would have to do. Same thing with like texting a bunch of packaging to Castalia. Like I'm texting her cardboard mailers, poly mailers, bubble mailers. I just never thought I'd be sending these things to my friends.
Another language.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty soon
Exactly.
you'll be doing hand signals for emojis.
True.
Patients, like with your professors and stuff, you know.
Exactly.
All right. That will be my next video with you guys. Excellent. Well, good to know. Well, good luck. This sounds fabulous. And we'll have to check in again with you in just a bit to see how the launch went. So thank
I'm
you
so
all
excited
for coming on.
Thank you for having us. This is such a great conversation.